Joining us now is Charles Moran of the Log Cabin Republicans. And Charles, the Log Cabin group, which represents gay Republicans, tends to be a bit more moderate than the overall GOP caucus, especially on issues like health care. But having said that, what's your view of the Republican Party strategy right now?
Well, right now the Republican Party is doing everything it can to focus on some of the main issues that the Democrats just conveniently leave out of the story. The fact that Republicans, while we're not driving the bus, are trying to do things to be participatory in this process. Republicans absolutely recognize the need. Everybody in the GOP leadership in the House and the Senate and at the RNC recognize that we must have health care reform, that it's on the forefront of our nation's issues. But at the same time, we don't want to do something reckless that is going to add trillions of dollars of debt to our already ballooning deficit, and also do something that's going to make the problem worse. And that's all the Democratic options that we've seen so far do, are either a fast or a slow roll to a nationalized medical system that is going to not solve the problems that are facing everyday Americans. And what the Democrats just don't get, and they didn't get it in 1992 either, is that while Americans are generally unhappy with the system, Americans are happy with the level of care they get. And
assuming they have health insurance, they're happy. I mean, they're 46 million. Right. Assuming, well, Charles, assuming that they have health insurance, they're happy. Let me ask you this question for a second. Hold on a second. Let me ask you for a second, Charles. I mean, 46 million Americans don't have any health insurance, so they're obviously not happy with the system. But here's the greater concern that I hear from a lot of Republicans, and that is there is a public disgust or even a revulsion right now with the for-profit insurance companies, whether it's, their tactics, the skyrocketing fees, the pre-existing conditions, the way they're fighting this battle with the reports they're putting out. Are you concerned in the least that the Republicans, fair or not, are being painted as essentially being in bed with these for-profit insurance companies that everybody hates?
Americans are the people that vote, not the insurance companies, and the voters are concerned that if we throw out the entire system and throw everything into a public option system, they're not going to be able to get into their doctors. They're not going to be able to get the medicine they vitally need. And that's what we're looking at, because that's what's happening in other countries that have done exactly
but Charles,
what we're
also looking at a situation where people
are happy with the system and the forms. They may not be happy with the system and the forms and the way they're going about it, but at least they're getting the care. We're getting the care.
Right, but what about, Charles, the situation people are looking at right now where, okay, fine, you may worry about people not getting the care, but there are people right now, when they deal with insurance company bureaucrats, who see the insurance company bureaucrats standing in the way and preventing them from getting care or seeing them cut off. Isn't that an issue that Republicans need to figure out some way of attacking?
Absolutely. We've got to figure out a way to make our medical system in this country work better. And Republicans are wholeheartedly willing to work with the insurance industries and all the stakeholders, including the government and care providers and doctors and our physicians, to make sure that the system gets better. Republicans understand that we have a problem in this country, but there's a different way about going to do it. All we're talking about with this public auction plan is replacing replacing the insurance industry bureaucrats with government bureaucrats. That's all we're talking about here. Except that the government bureaucrats wouldn't be operating on a for-profit basis. But that's another issue. Charles Moran from the Log Cabin Republicans. Charles, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate having you on the show. Tamron, it's a,